next presenter, let me invite Ms. Jennifer Hossain on the topic of experimental open innovation and co-creation in global entrepreneurship.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for inviting me to talk about my conceptual paper on experimental open innovation and co-creation in global entrepreneurship. Can you go from slide 1, please? I think some difficulties with the presentation. The topic is experimental open innovation and co-creation in global entrepreneurship. Before I start my presentation, I just want to discuss a few things about the topic. We can see here a few key words like open innovation, then co-creation, and in global entrepreneurship. For us, global entrepreneurship is not new term. Last year, UNICEF has organized a conference, and Professor Philip Kotler was the keynote speaker, right? And there I asked him one question, like as a local entrepreneur, when I want to expand my business in abroad, which is like going global, what is the key point or term to keep in mind? And then I say that, for example, I'm preparing a furniture business, like I do beds, then the sofa and other furniture. What is the method? I mean, when I want to export it internationally, then what are the key factors that I have to keep in my mind and work on it? He mentioned that when you go, you must customize the product as per the demand of that country. Like that country people height can be very below my country or they can be very tall. So as per the requirement, we have to customize it. And then the second I asked about him how to get the audiences or how to capture the market. Then he mentioned that you have to target the age group first, and then you have to have the research which group, like if they are 50 above, do they watch television or they read newspaper or they go Facebook. So we have to keep that things in mind and then proceed further. And if we talk about open innovation, what is innovation, I will discuss later. Excuse me, it's not working. I'm sorry for the interruption. I asked you to use your computer. That's better. Maybe the distance. I'm extremely sorry for this doesn't work from this. Okay, no. So I'm Jennifer Hossain. I'm from Bangladesh, and I'm MBA student of University of Kuala Lumpur, and also I completed successfully my study abroad program from University of Technology, Sydney. And during my coursework, I was very interested about open innovation platform. Sometimes it doesn't work. So let's see the outline of my paper. So first I will talk about something about, I'm so sorry, can you please transfer the project? project to your laptop. That's what I'm requesting from the beginning. Anyway, let's not just stick to this. During my coursework and as an entrepreneur, I always started to do my online clothing business and my online consultancy firm. And I came up with an idea that if I create a platform in Bangladesh where we can create the co-creation idea. For example, there are a number of fashion designing houses. They are the student of the fashion designing center, but they don't have the platform to get their input, their idea, to make it into work and then get published, or to make it a real product and then sell worldwide. They don't have the platform. So we can do a platform where we can invite all the designers, all the IT person, and all the consultants from worldwide. They can come up to this network and they can share their ideas, make it to better idea, and then they can get the output. So can I try? That's what I mentioned here. And then before jumping into the deeper discussion, I just wanted to show you this flowchart where you can see that we can see the current market, but we can create a new market where all the inputs from different persons are getting in, and then we capture the other new market. And then this is what I told you, that what is co-creation. So co-creation is like we have the collective intelligence, and then the open innovation, and then we can create the co-creation. So in open innovation platform, this is like for user to user, and then also like by sharing ideas, and then getting the necessary input, and that's called co-creation. And entrepreneurs in their local market and also to the international market, they can get the benefit of using the open innovation. How? They can also minimize the price or the budget they spend in research and development. Like Ericsson spend a lot of money every year on research and development sector. So entrepreneurs can reduce the research money by using open innovation and co-creation. Another example can be, like, let's say when I come up with an idea and I spend 1 or 2 years time to think about, oh, I can do a boutique like this and that, in that way, maybe my idea is not according to the demand of the current consumer. And also maybe someone has already used this idea, but the idea didn't work out. So in that way, if we share our ideas in a platform where others can give their inputs to make it better and also suggest something, maybe I didn't have to spend 2 years time, I could just solve it in few weeks. That's the concept of open innovation. And then we can see that Netflix, they have recommended their algorithm for open innovation, where the first team or person to improve their algorithm by 10% would win $1 million. And then we can see also, like, Wikipedia allows anyone to write their biography. They could not make it alone. So for example, my ex-boss, Dr. Devapriya Bhattacharya, he's an economist. So I created his Wikipedia profile. So by contributing, different people from different world, from different countries are creating their recognition, identification in the platform. They're allowing us to do that. So the open innovation can multiply the knowledge of potential area as a whole, and this is traditionally called open source co-creation. And here we can see that ideas makes the best idea. So innovative entrepreneurship, if we talk about entrepreneurship, still now sometimes it's a neglected subject. But over the few years, research has taken to a new direction, bringing out the independent and distinction function of the entrepreneur contrast to the manager. And the manager, one could argue, but operator under the condition and routine business functions, while exact the opposite potential are needed to successful entrepreneurship. This is important to highlight the innovative motion and a new start in contrast to the organizational aspect of existing entities. So competition, and with it more allocated of resources, arises on the penetration of these markets by new entrepreneurs who terminate, look here, they said that who terminate the existing market equilibrium with their innovation. So they create something, a new market. Therefore, if we talk about the experimental open innovation and co-creation in global entrepreneurship, then not so long ago, farms innovation was concentrated with a very talented scientist, researcher. They had all the resources in their in-house. But now they can hire an innovative platform where they can outsource the ideas, knowledge, and they can develop their business outside the box. So here I want to play a video. Can you please press play? Volume.
In this video, you'll learn how to submit a design so you can earn fame and fortune on Threadless and beyond. Start by collecting these materials: a writing apparatus, a notebook, a computer, and an internet connection. You can use other tools as well. Think of an idea. Your idea can be anything. Original ones are best. Your idea can be funny, geeky, thoughtful, beautiful, and even a little weird. If you need an idea, these are themed design challenges for inspiration. However you make your idea, use a computer for the finishing touches. You might need help with your concept and execution. That's what the Threadless community is for. Put your design on the template once it's ready. Then, press the submit button. We'll approve your submission in a couple days. Then, your design will go up for scoring for 1 week. The Threadless community scores your design 1 to 5. Everyone can help pick what we make by scoring designs. Ask friends to help you out. If you'd like more people to score your design, vote on theirs. Be nice in the comments, though. Need constructive criticism. Spend time in the forum, reviewing other submissions and reading threads. It's a great way to meet other artists and make new best friends. Your design gets a final score after 7 days. We review the top scoring submissions each week. Then we print the community's saved designs. We pick designs based on their overall scores and comments. If your design is selected for print, you'll get tons of cash. We print your design on real-life t-shirts and ship them all over the world. Threadless prints on other products too, like water bottles, tank tops, and iPhone cases, which means you could earn more cash. Let's review the steps of earning fame and fortune on Threadless. Step 1, make an original design. Step 2, ask the community for help if you need it. Step 3, submit your design to Threadless. Step 4, promote your design ever so nicely on the forum and to your friends. Ask everyone to score it. feel like mad hack. So get started at threadless.com/make.
So here we can see that first you have to read Threadless. The video I have just shared was from Threadless. That's for designing anything. One of my friends came up with an idea that she will have the airbag for iPhone 5 or iPhone cases so that it falls down, it doesn't get destroyed. So what we have to do, OpenIDEO is another platform where the concept is different. There people share their topic, and then you have to read the topic content and understand, and then you have to share your idea by putting the comment. And then when you post, it gets connected by locally as well as the other communities, group of people can see and contribute to this. So that's how your idea gets better. Like we can generate unique idea, and also we can share our idea to get modified so that we don't have our 2-3 years wasted by just developing a wrong concept. So this OpenIDEO is a global platform where people share their ideas, get it improved by others. And here it's not only about the goods and services, this is also works for non-profit organizations. Like how can they contribute to the social welfare? What's happening in Syria and how we can help it? And what's happening in Bangladesh for the Rohingya, the Tibetan people, and how we can do something to help them. But there are some challenges because here it depends on, as I mentioned, that the firms can reduce their research and development funding by utilizing this kind of platform. But it depends how the firms are using it, whether they are asking the right person, whether they are putting it in the right manner, whether the audiences or the user are idle or active, and what's their background. So these kind of challenges can be overcome. And here about the OpenIDEO, I think this slide, sorry, I made it too small that I cannot. And then here you can see some of the examples like Procter and Gamble. Yes, they also use this open innovation that can be very sustainable, and it may provide competitive advantages. As I mentioned, that it should be based on the consumer demand, based on the local market, not like someone just came up with some idea or concept which doesn't fulfill anyone's requirement or solve any problem. So this farm can be utilized this in the long run. So here is one example, like in OpenIDEO, I participated. They came up with some problem, like in a third world country, the farmer produces and do their investment. They spend their time on their fresh vegetable, fruits and everything. But these are perishable, so they don't have the storage facilities. So here I suggested that if we can organize a refrigerator for them, they can store it and utilize it, and from the rural area they have to bring it to the right market, like to the city. So during that time, the vegetables and fruits still get fresh. So I came up with this idea. And then here you can see there are a lot of questions how I did. It's due to time constraint, I will not go through into details. And then here you can see like one of the user commented that, Jennifer, you have shared very good idea, but can we use it in the private sector? Or is just in general? So I recommended, yes, we can utilize this concept in our private sector as well. Few organizations can support our farmers to have these facilities. So that's how we share ideas. Few days ago, I got to know in Bangladesh, they organized a campaign where all the farmers, they came from their villages with their own product, and without any mediator or middleman, they sell this directly to their consumer. So they get the whole profit. They don't have to share it with anyone else. So these kind of social welfare are done by few organizations like USAID. They are funding for this kind of project. So as I said, that this kind of farm open innovation platform have the limitations. Why limitations? Because all the users are not very active. They are idle. They are in the platform, but they are not contributing to any concept, or they are not sharing their ideas. Why we are afraid to share our ideas? Because we understand that our innovative ideas, if we just share with everybody, anyone else can do it in their country, or it doesn't have the copyright or the right authority. So that's why people get scared to share their own ideas, innovative ideas. That's the one of the limitation we can see. And the other weaknesses of this platform is that the platform is they don't utilize their resources, or they don't spend some time or money to see what is actually going on in the actual market. And let's see what is the most demanded thing or services they are looking for. So it's not very much demand based. So in the conclusion, we can say that any innovation and co-creation cannot be done alone. We need community, we need support, we need ideas. And then we can create it into better ideas. And then therefore, if we can utilize this platform, I think this is very good option or opportunity for the entrepreneurs to come up. Like, I'm thinking of starting a consultancy business in Bangladesh. So one of my friends just reminded me that, do you know, already a lot of companies are doing this, but what I can do you have any unique selling point which can really attract the market, and how you going to be the unique one? And they also suggested me few secrets and asked me to do the network with the Malaysian High Commission in Bangladesh and how to do that. This kind of like, for any idea, we have to get supported by others, because I may come up with something unique, but other person may have a better skill or experience in this criteria or field. So therefore, if we share, if we collaborate, then we can definitely utilize these platforms for something good. Thank you very much for listening, and if you have any questions, please, you're free to ask.
Any questions?
Okay, hi.
Hi.
I just actually came in when in the middle of your presentation, because I'm the moderator myself at level 23. Okay, but in your study, I want to ask one question.
Yes, please.
Who actually holds the IP, intellectual property? Because if you know intellectual property, let's say if you want to register that at the IP center in your own country, you must have the ownership of that particular IP lah. But like you showed just now on the threadless.com, it's most of it is on probably, may I say, industrial design of the thing. So actually, who owns the IP if everybody is sharing the idea?
Well, for this kind of creative side, you get awarded, like they choose the best design and then they make it into the real product and they help you to sell it and gain your money. You directly get the financially benefited from there. It's not about like your idea is stolen by a platform or they are using it for their own benefit or for their own publicity. So here what's happening, like let me give you one example. Even 8 years back, in our country or even in Malaysia, it was very popular, the traditional advertising thing. Everybody used to get what the advertiser are saying, what the companies are saying, and they are buying the products directly. But later on, when the social media marketing came up, the Facebook, the blogging thing, and Twitter and other reviews, YouTube, everything, they came up with the concept, why we will listen to the companies, why not we get to know like what we need. They come up with something that fulfill my desire, my requirements. So from that concept, it came the social media marketing, like we are using the marketing platform to get engaged and to get benefited as well. Like the Facebook, for example, that you will get the answer from this example. Facebook have the option where you can use your advertisement directly. So they have these tools for you to design, that you can have your own space, you can design your services and offerings. So in that kind of thing, like when any idea is published, it can be used by other party. There is no one can guarantee it. But the concept is like when we share our ideas, others get to know what is actually happening. A few days ago, a lady came to me and said, I do a lot of workshops, motivational speaker, I suggest everybody and motivate. But I need to know what is exactly your generation is facing the problem. So if I get to know, then I can prepare my slides, my speaking style based on that. So in this platform, we share the ideas, and there are few firms who invest money to get idea from this kind of platform, where they don't want to only be limited within their internal resources. Because I have, as an entrepreneur, I have limitations. I can only hire 10 people in my companies, but I need a special expertise who is skilled in a different field that I need that knowledge in for one particular project. For that project, shall I hire someone who will cost a lot of money, or I reduce my research and development and I save my money by giving the authority to the Open Innovation Platform who does it on behalf of me, and my purpose is getting solved. Thank you. Any more questions, please?
Okay, with regards to the video that you showed earlier on, do you think actually people like offering to help entrepreneurs to like showcase or show themselves to the world, do you think then offering that help, do you think it would encourage entrepreneurs to like come out from their hiding place or from their comfort zone to like give out what they must have suffered years to like come out with do you think they can easily like you are trying to encourage them to come out, and then so do you think they will easily come out, or do you think there's a way they can be encouraged more to like come out from their closet and then give up what they must have suffered? I hope you get what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, I can understand what exactly you asked for. You wanted to know whether the entrepreneurs feel very easy to come up with their own ideas, sharing with the community. The answer is it depends on when the entrepreneurs get to know about these platforms and get to know the facilities. They can share their ideas and get it modified by the other users, and everybody can collaborate it. The concept is collaboration. This is not like doing something.
Because I could understand what my sister here tried to ask, because of the IP, that's intellectual property
Right.
issue. So, because I know you are trying to encourage, but a lot of people are like, how do someone else will take credit for what I did, what I must have suffered for. So, there should be some way, in order for each party to benefit. Yeah.
Well, that's what I mentioned, that there is two kinds of innovation. One is you come up with your unique idea. Another one is you come up with your idea and you want it to get developed by others' consent. Here is your answer. Like, if you want to come up with your really unique, which nobody has done, never had done, then you won't be sharing. Or if you won't be sharing, then you don't need the collaboration. But when you come up with an idea and you want this innovation to get placed in the market and to get modified, I want it to get better feedback. Because without feedback, end of the day, for whom we are making the product or services, to the people like me, like you. So if they cannot fulfill our requirement, it doesn't make sense. So in that way, that your intellectual property rights is under the unique innovation. Not for the innovation we are talking about, we want to get modified and we want to discuss with the community, and it's more about like you get help from this platform, as well as you contribute to the social welfare. Like any country suffering from any problem or anything happening in the world. Like for example, I'm doing a project on Cellcom. I didn't know what is the problem of Cellcom actually, because I don't use Cellcom. But I go through the blogs and where they give review, the customer service is very bad, they behave very rude. Sometimes they mention that, they came up with some strange billing in my billing system, which I really didn't use. Somebody says that the roaming was off, but they charged me for the roaming when I travel overseas. So I got to know the problem without doing the primary research. I got to see that what people are talking about, what they are suffering. Then I came up with the idea, how can they develop their customer relationship? Because if you cannot make your customer reliable, and then you cannot get them retained, they will not come to you again and again, then the market is very for the short term, not for the long term. So when we target for the long term, we have to do investigation, we have to share the ideas, we have to get all the knowledges. So now in this modern age, I don't think anybody is willing to do something rocket science like out of the world, which nobody is familiar with. It's more about what I need, give me that. What Malaysia needs, give me that. It's like that. Any more questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jennifer, for your wonderful presentation. Next next is our last presenter. It's called Siti Salwa Hasbullah. The topic she is going to present, the 3D game stimulation for safety measures in walking.